We are only 5 days away from seeing the defending national champion Michigan Wolverines take the field Saturday night against Fresno State. But they have yet to decide on a starting quarterback. Head coach Sharon Moore says it's going to happen sometime later on in the week. Alex Orji, who we saw some last season, was expected to be the starter, but he's being pushed by senior Davis Warren. Now, former Michigan Wolverine Cade McNamara has been named Week 1 starter for Iowa despite major struggles in preseason camp. McNamara's had a couple of major knee injuries. Did help lead Michigan to the CFP back in the 21 season. He gets the nod over Northwestern transfer Brendan Sullivan. Let's get Josh Pate in here to give us some quarterback rankings. Josh, what? What?
You can't be serious with this quarterback move at Iowa. Like, you can't put your name, you can't stamp this. You can't think this is going to work, do you?
No, in fact, I said on the pod this morning,
work.
I think Brendan Sullivan is going to start 7+ games this year, even though Cade McNamara has been named.
I agree with you. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not in the camp of believing that Cade McNamara can lead this team to the college football playoff, but maybe we'll have to wait for him to get injured again to see. Look, we're not here to rank Big Ten quarterbacks because really there's one, and that's it. And it's a guy that most people wouldn't think of as being in the Big Ten. It's Dillon Gabriel, who is the Heisman favorite right now. But you don't have him number 1 overall. You have Carson Beck number 1 at Georgia. Why do you have Beck ahead of Gabriel?
Really, that's like a coin flip, even in the Heisman odds market. I went with Beck because, honestly, I got swayed by NFL people. NFL people would tell you the much better Sunday upside is with Carson Beck. I hope Prisco's not wandering around there, although I think he would agree with this as well. Dillon Gabriel's, there's nothing wrong with what I'm about to say. Dillon Gabriel's apex is at the college level. Carson Beck's is somewhat here because he could win a national title this year, but also down the road a little ways. But that doesn't take anything away. I love the college game. They might as well not exist to me when they go off to Sunday. So I love the college game. But if I've got a guy who I know has Sunday potential, and he's in a top 5 offense, which Georgia was last year, and he's got an elite offensive line, which Georgia has and had last year, and he's got probably the best group of pass catchers that he's had, and that includes losing Brock Bowers. Still got a great group of pass catchers. Why would I look past Carson Beck at Georgia? I'm going to make him prove me wrong. I think he's number 1, and then I'd put Gabriel right behind him at number 2.
And to that point, Ryan Wilson just came out with a brand new mock today. He has Carson Beck going number 1 overall in his 24 mock. We're going to have more on that in a minute. At number 3, you have Cam Ward at Miami. We know how much you love him. But 4 and 5 is interesting because you put Jackson Dart ahead of Quinn Ewers. How do you compare those two from the same conference?
Well, clearly the more dual threat is Jackson Dart. Did it last year, so there's not a lot of guesswork for me. I don't have to guess. But, you know, they, as a team at Ole Miss, they lost Quinshon Judkins via the transfer portal. And everyone was excited at Ohio State. But not many people were that upset at Ole Miss. Firstly, because they know they got that quarterback back, and he can run the ball, and he can throw the ball very well. Number 2, he's got one of the best and probably the deepest group of wide receivers of any of these guys in the country. Multiples of them will play on Sundays. Number 3, there's a kid who himself won't win the Heisman, but Ulysses Bentley is a tailback that I think will take a lot of the heat off him. It's not a name many people know. He'll be one of the best tailbacks in the SEC if he's healthy this year, all year. So I think Jackson Dart's in a perfect position. And also, Hassel, you know as well as I do, this is not Alabama. This is not Georgia. They've got to build to a year like this. It's all on the line. All the chips are pushed to the middle of the table with Ole Miss this year, and it's on Jackson Dart's shoulders. Now, with Ewers, it's not that I'm down on him. It's just there's a whole lot of his profile that's very good. But we're talking about greatness. If we're talking about a top 3, top 4, first half of the first-round draft type guy, I don't think he's played to that yet, but it's not like a ways off. It's just like around the bend for him, Pocahontas style, just around the river bend. So he's in the same system for the 3rd year, same coordinator for the 3rd year. He's starting there for the 3rd year. He's got to stay healthy, which is a prerequisite for all these guys. He's up there. He's just not above these guys we just listed.
A couple of guys not making your top 5 that are right around top 5, I believe. Maybe not Shedeur Sanders, but in Heisman odds, Colorado would have to win a bunch of games, and that's not going to happen. But you've got Shedeur Sanders at 6 and Jalen Milroe right behind him. I'm a little bit surprised that you have Sanders ahead of Milroe, who is one of those guys in the top 5 in the Heisman odds.
Yep. You have reason to be. That's the one I could regret. If there's one written in red Sharpie, it's Jalen Milroe, because we could be sitting here in November And how dumb does it look if we just saw what DeBoer did with Penix, and then he links up with a guy who was already a borderline Heisman finalist before he gets to Tuscaloosa? I mean, I could see us saying in November, how could you not have seen this coming? So, yeah, I'm rolling the dice there. The thing about Shedeur, though, being right in front of Milroe is I think about this and how are we really supposed to judge this? Because we're not necessarily doing just a pure Heisman thing here. We're just ranking quarterbacks. Well, if we're doing that, then we have to sort of standardize or calibrate our scale. The way I like to think about that is, Christopher, what if I took Shedeur Sanders and put him at Ohio State? We'd all be ranking him the number 1 quarterback or number 2 quarterback in the country, and nothing changed about him. His surroundings changed. So that's where I struggle, because I don't think he's got the supporting cast these other guys do. However, I think he's a really, really good player, and if his last name was Davis, Shedeur Davis, he'd still be thought of as a really good player. So this is not merely the Deion effect rubbing off on him either. But at the same time, the dude got sacked over 50 times last year. So, like, what chance does he have unless they're significantly upgraded?
If Deion hears this, that you don't have his son in the top 5, you won't be able to ask him a question at a press conference if you cover a Colorado game this year. Let's go to the back end here. And you got 2 guys side by side who were on the same team last year. It's Avery Johnson of Kansas State at 9. Right behind him is Will Howard, who he supplanted, and then Howard transferred to Ohio State. I think that's a really interesting take there is the Ohio State side. Because last year, they didn't get over the hump because they said they didn't have the quarterback. Is Will Howard that much better than Kyle McCord?
He's better. I don't know that he's that much better. I don't know that he has to be that much better. I think in the aggregate, Ohio State's team had fractions of inches here and there. They're not miles away in any one category. But, hey, did you notice? You made half a point there. I'm going to make the other half of the point. You notice that Kansas State had Will Howard, and they kind of said thanks, but no thanks. We've got a better version in Avery Johnson. Did you also notice that at Oklahoma they had Jackson Arnold, and they kind of said, Dillon, you want to leave? You can go ahead and leave. And wouldn't you know it, the 2 cast-offs from Oklahoma and Kansas State, respectively, are the quarterbacks of the favorites to meet in the Big Ten championship game, which is just a little note to put in the stat packet for down the road. But Avery Johnson is a quarterback there at Kansas State. I didn't pick them to win the Big 12. That's part 2 of where I could end up looking really foolish here. Because if we get to November or December and they're there in the Big 12 championship game, I could see myself saying, it was so obvious this kid's the best quarterback in the Big 12. And in a talent-starved league at the high level, why did I overlook the best quarterback out here? Avery Johnson could be a stud, a really, really good leader, one of the alphas in that locker room. Went and talked to Kleiman about him in Manhattan over the summer. Didn't see any of our esteemed national college football media members there. It was just me and a bunch of, what do you call those things, tumbleweeds. That's all I saw there, Christopher. That's all I saw there. So I like both of them, but Howard, just give me above average good decision making. That's all I need in Columbus, Ohio.
And that's the only other Big Ten quarterback in Pate's top 10 other than Dillon Gabriel at Oregon. Big Ten, I mean, you go 1, 2, 3, it's a huge drop off after Drew Aller and everybody else. The Big 12, underrated for quarterbacks. We didn't even talk Noah Fafita at Arizona, now in the Big 12, the number 8 quarterback according to Josh Pate.